Mussolini and the crashed UFO that could change history. An old story claims that in 1933, Mussolini mistook extraterrestrial bodies for German pilots. Something that could change the history of humanity. Mussolini's dictatorship sided with Nazi Germany during World War II. But why did that happen? The culprit may have been a UFO that crashed in Italy and was recovered in 1933, which mistook this unidentified flying object for German technology. The UFO that scared Mussolini. Roberto Pinotti, Secretary of the National Committee for Investigations on Aerial Phenomena and President of the International Coalition for the Extraterrestrial Search, gained access to documents that showed the existence of the RS-33 cabinet, created from the accident of a mysterious plane, on June 13, 1933. The regime hid this fact, giving all the study and investigation of the strange object to the ultra-secret committee. It was headed by the famous inventor Guglielmo Marconi, Nobel Prize winner and promoter of long-distance radio transmission. It should be noted that through his invention, Marconi believed he had received messages from Mars. The accident happened near Lake Maggiore, on the border between Piedmont and Lombardy. The Italian soldiers recovered not only the remains of the strange plane, but the bodies of the pilots. The bodies were taken to a hangar in Ci Marchetti in Vergiate, where they remained for 12 years. The ufologist explained that the object was cylindrical, with a neck similar to that of a bottle just before reaching the end and had small white and red lights on the sides. The pilots were preserved in formalin solutions. It is known that they were over 1.80 meters tall and had blonde hair and light eyes. This convinced Mussolini that they were Germans and that the UFO was a new weapon created by the Third Reich. German invention? 6 months before the accident, Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany. His territorial demands were already 3 years old, becoming more and more aggressive and threatening with a war. It was logical to believe that this invention could only be a prototype of the Luftwaffe that was being reorganized. Perhaps that was the reason why Italy took over the conflict in favor of the Germans. In the 1950s, and after the end of the war, United States Air Force personnel, who occupied the Italian aircraft maintenance factories, took custody of the remains of the UFO, which were later taken to their country. According to air accident specialist and member of the National Investigation Committee on Aerial Phenomena, Leonard Stringfield, the wreckage was taken to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. This is seconded by William Brophy, who claimed that his father saw the bodies when he was a lieutenant colonel. Witness: weren't they human? Thanks to the fact that the bodies were preserved in formalin, it was possible to see that the injuries coincided with those of the accident. Although, surprisingly, their heads were intact. According to William Brophy Sr., a French biologist who was invited to study the bodies, he ended up quite disturbed. His skin did not have keratin granules, something essential for hydration and protection from UV rays, as well as helping to retain water. He also discovered that his lymphatic systems were dominant, almost entirely replacing the blood system. This provided a high degree of protection against any disease. Simply put, they didn't look human. According to Pinotti, this explains that President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed on February 22, 1944, the Memorandum for the Special Committee on Science and Non-Terrestrial Technologies, in which one could read, "I appreciate the efforts and time spent producing fruitful insights into the proposal to identify ways to advance technology and the nation's progress by coming down to the reality that our planet is not the only one harboring intelligent life in the universe." The text, which was classified as double secret, is part of the document MJ12, Majestic 12.